Hello, and welcome to the English with Colin Podcast, a podcast for English language learners. My name's Colin, I'm an English teacher in Tokyo, and if you're looking to improve your English skills and gain more confidence in your ability to communicate in English, you've come to the right place. In these episodes, I'll provide you with short conversations in English that cover a range of topics, from everyday situations to more specialised subjects. These conversations are designed to help you practice your listening skills and pick up new vocabulary and grammar along the way. Regular listening practice is key to improving your English, and I hope this podcast will become a valuable resource for you on your language learning journey. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. And remember, the more you listen, the more you'll learn. This is episode 14, and in this episode, we're talking about Golden Week. Hi, Sue.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. It's Golden Week.
It is Golden Week.
What is Golden Week?
Well, it's a great week.
It's a great week. It's a Golden Week. Golden Week is, I guess the best way to describe it is it's a series of national holidays in Japan, and it runs from the end of April into the first week of May.
Yeah, so the Golden Week is not necessarily one holiday. It's several holidays that are very close together, and that's what makes it golden.
That makes it golden. So yeah, you've got a series of national holidays. So you've got Showa Day to commemorate the Emperor Showa.
His birthday, right?
Birthday, was it? Right, okay. Then you've got Constitution Memorial Day, which is the 3rd of May. Then you've got what they call Greenery Day, which I guess is a day to respect nature or to think about taking care of nature, perhaps.
What I was reading a little bit about Green Day is it's also related to the Showa emperor, who really liked gardening.
Right.
And it was celebrated in another date.
Okay.
I think Showa Day, but they moved it. There was a law, I'm not very sure, very obscure law. So then that kind of was separated. But it's also related to the Showa emperor.
Okay. But it was kind of lined up to make this nice kind of run of holidays in its position. You also have Children's Day.
Yes, I think that would be my favorite.
Why do you like... So Children's Day is the 5th of May, the 5th of the 5th.
Yes.
Why do you say that Children's Day would be your favorite?
Because of the koi. The
koi, right. You've got koi streamers, I guess the best way to describe them. So these are... usually there's a series of different... Maybe you might have 3, 4, or 5 of these koi displayed on a piece of string. And they're pretty big.
There are some really, really big.
Some of them can be very big. And the idea is that they are put outside... Usually the outside the house of a family that has maybe a little boy, and the koi carp, kind of jump in the wind. They sort of swim through the wind.
Yes, well, it's a very windy time of the year.
It is.
So it works very nicely. And these koi, they're very colorful. And they usually have 2 or 3, and they're different colors. And the city kind of commemorates these. Not only the families outside their homes, but throughout the city. You can see the celebration.
If you go to Tokyo Tower...
Yes, they do that there.
They have a special display around this time of year.
In Roppongi as well, I remember walking around and seeing the display.
Near the Midtown part. Yeah. So, series of holidays. It's called Golden Week. It's been called Golden Week since the 50s. and it was a term that was taken to basically promote this period as a time to kind of get out and enjoy yourself and travel and see people and do things and spend money.
Yes.
So it was kind of a way to promote domestic tourism.
Yes, it's a funny holiday in terms that April is when you start everything. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah. So schools, businesses, the business year, the academic year start in April.
And we've been back for 3 weeks or so, and then we have this holiday. Mm-hmm. So it's a holiday you really appreciate.
Yeah, because the first sort of 3 weeks getting back to work or back to study can feel quite tough, and then you get a chance to just take a breather, take a breath, and relax a little bit. So yeah, it's a big time of year for traveling. Obviously, we've had a few years of COVID, so people have not been able to travel very much domestically and see family and friends. But this year, I think, is the first year where things are back up to speed and even greater than before. In fact, the numbers for some of the bullet train lines, the Shinkansen lines, are higher than before COVID. So things are really kind of back to normal and then more.
Yeah, another interesting thing is that it is pretty much a domestic holiday. So I also was looking at internationally, is not recommended for tourists to come during Golden Week because it's domestic and everyone is waiting and very excited about that holiday here in Japan. Trains are already booked, hotels are booked. So it can get more expensive and very, very full of people. So a tough time to visit.
Yeah, I would think the other thing is that a lot of places close, a lot of businesses close. So if you come to Tokyo, you'll find that many restaurants or whatever little businesses, smaller ones, privately owned ones, they might close for these national holidays. So certain parts of central Tokyo become a bit of a ghost town.
Because it's such an important holiday. That
it's your national holidays. Yeah. Some areas get super busy. I saw in the news there was some reports about Takeshita Street in Harajuku, just out of control, busy.
It's usually very busy, but I can imagine during Golden Week being, as you said, out of control.
Well, we've noticed a real increase in the number of tourists.
In the last weeks, yeah.
Which it's kind of been strange. It's strange to see tourists. We're used to seeing the occasional Westerner, shall we say, but to see people who are clearly tourists, like sometimes you can identify people who are living in Japan versus people who are visiting. So yeah, things are changing, and it's nice to see things kind of getting back to normal. So yeah, Golden Week for us, we don't really do much in Golden Week. I tend to avoid traveling in Golden Week just because even if you have a car, if you leave Tokyo and you're trying to come back into Tokyo, you'll hit traffic jams, tens of kilometers of traffic jams trying to get back into Tokyo.
Yes. I think it's the same I would have done in Mexico. So Easter holidays, people also go out. They try to go to the beach because it's always good weather. But the idea is that because everyone leaves, the cities are left a little bit alone. And it's a great time just to enjoy the city. So I think we've just been enjoying. Most of our neighbors seem to also have traveled. So everything is very quiet, and it's a nice time to enjoy that, I guess.
Yeah, it's a nice time to enjoy the city when it's a little bit quieter. But yeah, Golden Week. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the English with Colin podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening to the conversation and found it helpful in your language learning journey. Remember, the key to mastering a language is regular practice. So make sure you listen to our podcast regularly and keep honing your listening skills. We appreciate your support and feedback. So if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for future topics, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. You can find our contact information in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to joining you again next time for another conversation in English. Until then, keep practicing and take care.